weight training PLC. We have 3 members in our PLC, AJ Greenow, Stephanie Nelson, and myself, Bob Micah. We decided to do a PowerPoint and videotape this because we are implementing technology through our weight training curriculum, so we decided to use some of that same technology to give you our presentation. Our roles. We have different roles assigned to us 3. I'm the guy that does the agenda and sets up the meetings. Miss Nelson, she takes the notes, and Mr. Greenow, he's in charge of this great presentation that we're putting on. All PLC members contribute when creating lessons, assessments, and other course needs, and we have examples of all those that we have created.
Norms. We create our norms together as PLC, respect PLC members and ideas, be on time to meetings and deadlines, provide an agenda for each meeting, no cell phones during meeting, each member contributes to the PLC, and everything must be done with a team first mentality.
The SMART goals, and SMART goal number 1, students will show 10% growth from pre-MCASA to post-MCASA test, or any growth if the student scored over 70% on the pre-test. And we just finished the MCASA midterm, and that is the Phoenix Union mandated test that all weight training students have to take, and we saw some really good growth. We're really impressed with what the kids are learning from the pre to the midterm, so we're really expecting to see nice numbers when it comes to the 10% growth in SMART Goal 1. SMART Goal 2, students will show 10% growth or maintain healthy fitness zone from pre to post fitnessgram assessments. Again, we just finished the midterms in the fitnessgram, and we're seeing a lot of improvement from these kids, so we're really happy how it's going this year.
Okay, plan success. The district mandated items that we were told to include are in there, but we also have some stuff that's unique to TGB in there. So it's nice that we're able to do that and have that flexibility to detail to our campus, but at the same time recognize the district mandated items. Our grade books are aligned within our PLC. Dress code is enforced throughout all classes. And we have common grading throughout the weight training classes, so you can go into Coach Micah's grade book, Coach Nelson's or my old grade book, and you can see a uniform grading and grade book, so the kids can go between classes, even from teacher to teacher, seamlessly and not miss any content that we covered.
The agendas. Provided to each member before a meeting occurs, so we send out the agenda the evening before. Items currently being reviewed. The MCASA data reviewed so that standards can be addressed and retaught to students that fall far below. And also implementing technology into study materials, formative assessments, and everyday coursework. You're really going to like the technology that we have implemented this year to our curriculum.
Okay, learning target 1. This has to do with the fitnessgram testing we've done. Students will be able to understand and explain the purpose of the fitnessgram test while also collecting and analyzing data over the period of 1 semester. Since we're a semester course, all our data is done within that spectrum of time. So we might get some kids new from semester to semester, but other kids will be retaking the class because they take weight training year round, and we tweak the assignments a little bit. But overall, gist of the fitnessgram does not change. We still do the same test, but we do alter the assignments slightly. So we have pre-post data. So we do our beginning of the year, we test the students to see where they're at, where they start off in their fitness zones. Some might be out of the healthy range, some might be way up and exceeding. And our SMART goals allows us to reward the kids that start off low and improve, or the kid that is in the healthy fitness zone and is really exceeding. If he maintains there, he also gets the credit that he deserves. Graphing. We plot our points, or we do bar graphs. So what we do is we take our pre-test data, we plot it on either a bar graph or a plot point, and then we'll take our midterm data, plot that, or bar graph that, and then we'll do our post data, we bar graph or plot point that, and we watch that progress throughout the semester. Next thing we do GIST and mark in the text and cover vocabulary related to the fitnessgram. We do have assignments that cover all these things that deal with the history of fitnessgram, We do constantly do gists and summaries of any type of written assignments or literacy we cover involving the fitnessgram. We also do self-evaluation rubrics. We ask the students to look at their scores from pre to post or where they're currently at their fitness level, and we ask them to go through a grading rubric and self-assess where they're at, and then come up with a strategy on maybe how they can improve their fitness.
Learning target number 2, students will be able to distinguish skill-related fitness from other forms of activity or skills, and will also be able to apply skill-related fitness to everyday life. Again, we do the pre-post testing, and a lot of this is covered in the MCASA. We do compare and contrast skill-related fitness and health-related fitness. We also do a gallery walk combined with performing skills. This is an activity class, so we're combining academic with the actual activity. Some of the cool stuff that we'll do, we'll have different stations where the kids will actually be able to see it demonstrated, to then read about it, learn about it, then perform it. So it's kind of a nice to use all the different strategies for them to learn.
Okay, students will demonstrate knowledge of cardiovascular endurance and how to compute target heart rate, resting heart, and recovery. This learning target has to deal with heart rate and how the correlation of heart rate and activity go together. We have pre and post data using our Unit 1 test. We have individualized skeleton notes that force students to analyze where their heart rate is. So on our worksheet that we'll demonstrate or we'll show tomorrow, it will show how students need to calculate and then fill in the skeleton notes with the information that's pertinent to their heart rate. We also use cross-categorical math. The formulas that we use for calculating heart rate, it's basic, but it's basic algebra. So we do go into math, and students get to use what they've learned in math class and their algebra classes during this lesson. In class, checking for understanding, we show the students, make sure we watch them take their pulse, how to take their pulse, so either by the jugular or the wrist artery. So then we have self-assessments. So the students will go ahead and see where their heart rate falls within a physical activity. What they can tell whether they're in great shape or if their heart rate's very high from a simple activity, if they're out of their healthy, their target heart rate zone. So they can dictate their own health by seeing where the heart rate falls after whatever activity they perform.
Okay, the common formative assessments. We use a fitnessgram results. We review progress from pre to midterm testing by analyzing quantitative data. Again, like Coach Greenow said, we have the students self-assess, they graph, we look at all the kids' scores, we see if they're moving in the right direction, if we need to change their workout plan at all. Some kids need to work on muscular strength more than muscular endurance, so we can change that up too. Scoring rubric to self-assess fitness level, so the kids immediately know where they're at. They don't have to wait for feedback from us. They do get feedback from us, but this way they can assess themselves. We have skill-related fitness. We have the Unit 2 test, the mini pre and post test, the heart rate, and the Unit 1 test. You'll see in future slides that we have different technology with clickers or the internet that we use that gives instant data, so the kids can take the test and they'll know immediately, or we'll know immediately what strand or what questions or concepts they're having trouble with.
Okay, assessment for learning. So Coach Mike had mentioned we use clickers. We actually were fortunate enough to have a department member come over from math, and he had connections with the clickers. So we're using the Promethean clickers, and the students really like it because they can take the test. It tells them right away where they're ranked within the class. It tells them if they got the question right or wrong. A lot of us will set up clickers where they can use multiple attempts to get a right answer. It won't let them advance until they get the right answer. But when we get our printouts of how the kids performed, it will show us how many attempts it took and how long it took them between answers, so we can see if they were just kind of going through, or maybe they didn't get the concept and then they were, by deductive reasoning, they were able to find the right answer. So it's kind of neat to use these clickers. This is our first year doing it, and I think it's been a pretty good hit so far. Rubrics for peer and self-assessment. Rubrics give the kids a very clear idea of where they're at. They can see where the high performing is, all the way down to the low performing, where they might need a lot of work with their fitness or any other aspect of our lesson. So the rubrics is something that we implemented last year, but we're really starting to use it in a wider spectrum in the weight training class. This Kahoot site is a new site that we use. If Ms. Nelson can click on it. What we do is you create a test or a game, and then each game, when you start it, you enter in the game PIN number. Once you enter in the game PIN number, it allows you and your group to go in there and then start the game. So what we do is, as teachers, we create the game, give them the PIN, we get them in groups of 4, and then they go ahead and they set up their group name, they enter in the PIN, they get all set up, and then they wait for the game to begin. Now the game works as a trivia game that you can play at like Buffalo Wild Wings or anything like that, where it gives you a question, there's a countdown timer, and the faster you get the answer, the more points it's worth. So the kids really enjoy it. We use it for our midterm study guide, and it really helped. The kids that are very competitive and hands-on learners really enjoyed it. Even the kids that tended not to really be engaged in your paper and pencil kind of review packets really started to get involved into the games. It's pretty neat. The next one, we had Quizlet. Now, Coach Micah created another midterm review in Quizlet form. It's under TGB weight training. So we type that in, we hit search once we get it, and it will come up. There's thousands of these study guides in here, but as you can see, ours is right here, created by Bob Micah. Now, you can set up in different types. You can do flashcards, you can do games. We tell the kids to do flashcards. Now, what you do is, what is the proper position while demonstrating running form? Okay, you hit the flip and it gives you the answer. So the kids can read it, they can guess on it, then they hit it and it tells them the right answer. So it's a good little flashcard game for them, and it's very simple for us to go in there, create it. Takes a little bit of time, but it's there. Once we create it, it's there, and it's available for all the students.
The students can access this from their cell phones, from their home computers, so most of them have their cell phones and they can practice on the way home or
Here's another game right here. You hit matching. So you hit one, then you hit another that matches it, and it takes it away, and it records your time. So there's a lot of fun games that we could do to help these kids prepare for these assessments. Want to click out of there? Nelson, thank you. Okay, next strategy we have, we use some other strategies in class on the fly as we're presenting information. We do think, pair, share, partner questioning. There are so many strategies that we use throughout the day. Try to keep it fresh, and we try to keep it interesting for the kids so we can get done with it. The kids get their information, then we get lifting.
Literacy strategies. Literacy is incorporated into each lesson in the weight room so students remain active while learning desired content. We use graphic organizers. Each kid has a folder, and then all their material is put into the folder so they can access it to go back to review. It keeps them organized. We have marking the text. Most of the lessons have a literacy assignment, an article where they're going to read through. They're going to go through the words that they don't understand. They're going to do a gist at the end of marking the text to get the summary, and then Cornell notes. So every unit that we have, every lesson, even though we are a physical education class, we have the academic that goes along with it. So they keep track of that in their folders.
Okay, Avid strategies, they kind of piggyback off what we just heard about in the last slide, but we use interactive notebooks. Now, the interactive notebooks we use in weight training slightly differs from the interactive notebooks you might see in health or science class, because we don't have the amount of craft space or workspace. We have to be pretty condensed in this weight room, but we can keep track of our assignments. We can keep our table of contents, and it really helps the students stay organized, and it gives them a study reference to go back to and reflect on for unit tests and CRTs. We also use word walls. We do gallery walks. We have a word wall in the weight room. We use marking the text, as Coach Micah said, and then Cornell notes. It helps students not only organize thoughts and information after they read an article, but it also helps them study for tests. They can do Cornell notes based off of worksheets, and they can put it in note form so they can create their own study guide. So Cornell notes is definitely a very, very nice avid strategy for them to learn.
Okay, grading and synergy. Common grading amongst PLC members. All of us have the same assignments like we said earlier. We utilize the Plan for Success grading criteria, so all of our Plan for Successes are aligned. We each have 17 assignments at this point in the school year. The alignment of gradebooks between PLC members. Course pacing allows for students to switch weight training classes, even within teachers, and remain on track with content that are responsible to know. We have a calendar, and so we are basically paced throughout the rest of this semester. So we have the calendars to provide you guys to see that all of our weight training classes are kind of on the same unit as we go along.
Okay, interventions. For interventions, we have KKS time after school. This is for any assignment or review that a student might have questions on and need to make up. Wednesday advisories. Since we're in our classrooms and we partner up with other advisory teachers within classrooms, usually health teachers, but this is a great time for makeup tests or written classwork. Friday mornings, Coach Mike and I are in the coach's office by roughly around 7 o'clock. We have the kids come in if they ever want to make up any fitness-related assignments or makeup that they need to do. We also do one-on-one counseling for students that are not making satisfactory progress. We'll pull them into our office, we'll talk to them, then we'll contact mom, dad, let them know what's happening, and just try to intervene as soon as we can so we can keep them from digging themselves a hole too deep where they can't come back from academically.
And enrichment plan. In Unit 1, students will create a video tutorial demonstrating and explaining how different physical activities can contribute to specific health-related physical fitness and additional workout opportunities. The one thing that I'm very impressed with this year with us, our students are performing really well overall in the grade book. And you can see our averages are up because of all these extra opportunities the students have. If they're absent or if they're falling behind, we give them all the chances to get their grade up, and it's showing with our class averages. In Unit 2, students will create a tutorial again in skills covered in that unit, and Unit 3, students will research a specific injury and develop a rehab plan for that injury, and that is the topic for Unit 3.
This right here is really geared toward the enrichment plan for the students that really did well and overachieved in the unit, the highest performers, the students that really get the standard, maybe have taken the weight training class multiple times. This is a chance for them to further build on their knowledge and on the content area that we cover in that unit. So each of these units, it's going to be information particular to these units. So Unit 3, we just finished it. Students will research a specific injury and develop a rehab plan. This is going to be above and beyond anything that we've done in class. It's going to be a higher level. It's going to be critique target, but the students can earn extra credit and extra points, demonstrating that they understand that standard, and that follows right along with our interventions that we provide. So that's it. So thank you very much, and hopefully you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you.